Hello, hello. It's time for Fishing Friends. How is everybody doing tonight? It
Hello,
is
hello.
Fishing Friends with Danny and Gina. I'm Danny, and that's
I'm
Gina. And there goes Lazuli flying around.
Okay, bye.
I hope everybody is having a great night.
Yes.
I know I'm having an awesome night. That auction over at Skipper's channel that just ended was fantastic.
It was so good. Oh my god. What were they? Tiger shrimp? Whatever those tiger shrimp were, those were amazing.
There was like so many different shrimp and fish and stuff for sale. And that's apparently the second auction they've done. I missed the first one.
Yes.
I mean, it happened the same time. Like, it happened on a Saturday night right before our stream, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that was during the Fishing Matrix.
Yeah.
And with that one, like we went anyway, even though the auction was going, and it was pretty darn slow at the beginning.
Yeah, I had to watch the replay on that
because there was an awesome auction going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might get together a rock. It's called a Zoa garden. So all my Zoas are about ready to frag. So I was thinking about making a Zoa rock right now and give it a month to heal and kind of start growing and attaching really well to the rock. So hopefully put it in the next auction. So first sold listing.
There you go.
I'm hoping to have a first sold listing.
I might be, I don't know, selling some like flame moss or something in an auction. Like, he does, like they said, they do plants and stuff too. So why not?
I'm excited.
I'm not really into breeding fish currently. Like, I'm just kind of got what I got right now. If they breed, they breed, but I'm not like trying to breed anything.
So it was funny because today was a really big day at work. I was by myself the first hour and a half, and I did about $800 in sales by myself for the first hour and a half. It was a busy day, and it just continued the rest of the day. I actually forgot about the auction. Bunny texted me. I was just getting off the highway into town, and I see that I got a text from Bunny. I was like, oh, Bunny's texting me. Like, the auction's happening, and I was like, oh, I'm missing it. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I've had a really busy week this week. I mean, started with the 4th of July. I had Monday off, but I had to work, Tuesday, and I had to work in today as well. But we had some trucks break down. I didn't really get to run my route except like today, but helping out with other people's routes and stuff like that. This one guy's leaving, so I ran his route. I ran $2,300 on Tuesday. $2,300 on Wednesday, like $2,300 on Thursday, and then like Friday I ran like 19. No, today I ran 19.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Lots of money this week. Unfortunately, the bad thing though is like I get like commission based on a scale, and like the more sales I get, the higher commission I get. But since I was helping with other people's routes and kind of going on multiple routes versus being on just my route, I get an automatic 5%. So this is my first week that I actually earned a total of a 9% commission, but I'm stuck at 5% because of the way that it works. So it's just like, man.
Yeah.
But let's take a second here. And let's say hi to everybody in chat. Chat is going crazy. We got Lady Rorschach in here. We got Bunny Viper in here. We got Garcia Aquatics. We got Scott's Aquatics. We got Joe Coffee. We got Chris George. We got Freaky Fish Lady. We got the Zen Ginger in here. We got Sky Dancer. We got Griffin Fish Room. Hey, Griffin, how you doing? Let's see. We got Danikin Aquatics with his "What Up, Fish People?" And we got Lunatic Fringe here, the Nano Aquarium guy, and Nathan M. I'm all the way at the bottom of the chat. How's it going, everybody?
That's my Nathan.
Yeah, that's your Nathan. He's
My
just watching
Nathan.
in the other room like a creeper.
No, he's actually at his dad's house. It's his dad's birthday. I'm missing his birthday party.
Well, happy birthday, Nathan's dad.
Yep. He texted me. He's like, I need to sober up before I drive home. I was like, yes, please. Drink lots of water. All water right now. So,
yeah.
We'll see if he gets home in time. Or not in time. Let's see if he gets home during the stream. I doubt it, but we'll see.
I have just been told that the background music was a little loud. Is it better now?
I don't know. I can't tell. Sounds good to me.
Okay. The background music just makes it a little bit better when it works right. I didn't realize it was too loud. But...
Oh, he says he's heading home soon. Be careful. Be careful.
All right. I apologize about that.
I'll throw punch you if you're not careful.
I hope it wasn't too unbearable. Only Oscars. Hey, how's it going, June? Great to see you here. June's my large, nice, big Patreon. And she's getting, special videos. Maybe one, maybe two a week. As I go and do karaoke, I've been recording myself doing different songs and uploading it to Patreon. If anybody was, interested in that sort of thing.
No, it wasn't horrible.
Stuff.
Voice. Oh, thank you, Zen. Oh, thank you. But everybody's saying it's better, the music.
Okay.
Joe said it was killing. He wasn't going to say anything, but it was killing his ADD. I feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, on Sunday, my family had our little 1930s party for all my siblings and myself that are in our 30s, and it was a total hit. It was a lot of fun, and had a good turnout, and the food was really good. The only mess up was my sister accidentally burnt her gluten-free rolls or biscuits that she made. So
yeah.
So she didn't get any biscuits that night.
You just put extra butter or peanut butter or extra jam. You just cover it with something that has a stronger flavor. It'll be fine.
Right. Crown Tail Half Moon, how you doing? Great to see you here. What's a good free app for editing videos for YouTube? Honestly, when I first started on YouTube, I was my first couple of videos I didn't edit anything. I just put out a couple things that I just filmed directly with my phone. But then I started just using the free Windows video editor or whatever that came on my computer. That's what I started with, and now I use what is this? Power Director? Yeah. I like Power Director. Power Director is really nice, but it does cost a little bit of money, and there is a slight learning curve. But once you kind of figure it out, it's kind of fun, and I'm getting better at it every day. That's what I use to make the intro. Getting the symbols to stay in place above on those neurons and stuff during the intro took a little bit of time, and it wasn't perfect, especially mine when it was kind of sliding over to the side. But hey, I did my best on short notice. If I took an hour, I could probably fine tune that.
Yeah. I use Power Director also, and yeah, I pay because my birthday aquarium visit when I went to the St. Louis Aquarium, right at the end, I was using it free up until the end when I wanted to add music, and then that's when I was like, okay, I'll pay to get more options from the royalty-free music. So
Yeah. There's no video of the birthday bash because like it wasn't like my birthday or whatever, and I don't know, like I didn't like film anything. I honestly wasn't feeling that good. Like it was 4th of July weekend, and we were expecting a whole lot of rain and stuff, and it was supposed to be really hot too. So everybody and their moms mowed their lawn, and so it really affected my allergies. And so like I was just not feeling good. And so I pretty much went to eat some food and just kind of be there. And I was the one that had, the record player and brought all my jazz records and stuff like that and was, flipping the vinyls. So, yeah. I just wasn't really feeling like filming it or whatever. But like my family did like take like pictures. I hate like organized pictures. I love candid shots. I think those are the best sort of photos that you can get when there's just a photographer there just randomly taking pictures of just everything. But I hate when it's like, okay, everybody go stand up there and get close and let's take a picture, smile. Like,
yeah,
I hate that. I absolutely hate it. I feel like my soul is just being ripped out from me.
Yeah. I say candid photos of me usually turn out okay if I'm not aware that there's a camera. But as soon as I'm aware, I don't know why, I can't pose. I just get so awkward, and I forget how to smile. I forget I don't know what to do with my arms. I just get so awkward.
Right. What's up, Kenny with ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations, and how you doing, Scuba Stevo's Aquatics? Yes, my bird is flying around. I let him, do his thing whenever I'm home.
Yep.
I don't let him out like all the time because like my cat would probably eat him.
Yeah. No unsupervised.
Maybe not eat him, but at least play with him enough to like hurt him.
Smack him. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to take my allergy meds. I take the Zyrtec, the 24-hour one at night. I forgot to, not last night, but the night before, and I was sneezing all day yesterday at work. Everyone's like, are you okay? I was like, I forgot my allergy pill last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I take Allegra in the morning when my allergies start, flaring off, but I don't take anything on the regular. And I try to avoid the allergy medication to begin with too. Like, I don't want to put anything into my body that I don't have to. So I'll even avoid,
Right.
I'm the veteran. I'm the one veteran that doesn't pop ibuprofen on the regular.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
Have we ever kept roaches as pet or food? BV really wants to know. Oh, Bunny Viper.
I wanted to. I had a Pac-Man frog, and I really wanted a breeding colony of dubia roaches, but Nathan told me no. He's like, no, I barely stand having the roaches in the house to feed the frog. Like, he was way against making a breeding colony, but I really wanted to. Apparently, it's really simple.
Yeah, apparently I've never done it either, but yeah, I've heard that dubia roaches are relatively simple to care for, and they basically raise themselves. They're not that dirty, and you just keep them in a container, and you don't want them to get out in the house, but the thing that's great about the dubia roaches too is they don't really carry any diseases or anything like that. So they're a lot safer than crickets and a lot of the other sort of insect live foods. So they're definitely a great food source or whatever. But yeah, I kind of agree with Zen there. I don't want roaches. No roaches in my house.
I would get the hissing cockroaches. So the large islander roaches that Petco sells, they're hissing cockroaches. I would get them out all the time, and I would have one on my shirt, and it would freak people out, and I thought it was hilarious.
Lots of roaches.
Here you go. I know, right? I like roaches. I was that kid. Yeah. So you remember at the Science Center, they would have like hissing cockroaches out. They'd be huge.
Yeah.
I remember there was this old man, and he'd let the kids. If the kids were willing and they were careful, he'd let you hold them. And oh my God, I loved it. I loved it so much. My mom and my sisters were all grossed out, and I was like, "No, they're so cute."
Like I'm not creeped out by them or anything. Like I've had tarantulas. Like I have no problem with bugs. It's just like my tarantula. My cat never noticed the tarantula like at all because it would just kind of sit there most of the time. Whereas like like roaches are kind of like active and scuttery and stuff like that. And I just like what Mandy's saying, like 7 cats, like it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah. Funny. But who's gonna rescue you from the bugs? That's why you have to have a bug loving friend. Who's gonna save you?
Yeah, but I mean like when I was younger, like I raised caterpillars into butterflies and moths, and I had several pet praying mantis, and I basically ended up, taking care of a brown recluse for a while when I was younger. That was just kind of happenstance. It was just there, so I'm just like, well, I now have a brown recluse here because I'm not going to do anything about it. And then I just started like feeding it like little bugs and stuff that I found.
I do that with the orb spiders in the fall when they make their huge webs around Halloween time. I'll grab moths that are around the light and I'll put them in his web. Yeah. Here you go, buddy. There's usually a wolf spider that will build its tunnel over my doorbell, and he'll be my doorbell spider. He'll keep the Jehovah's Witnesses away, and I won't disturb him because he keeps the Jehovah's Witnesses away.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't normally get a spider around my porch light. Normally around this time of the year, I get a gray tree frog that hangs out around the porch light and catches bugs.
Yeah.
George RB3 is here.
ABC says he made another Petco score, 8 of their display reptile enclosures. Nice.
Wow.
Huh. Wonder if
I do like the access to those enclosures and stuff.
Yeah. Wonder what happened. I guess they got a whole new system, or I don't know. They can't be remodeling. It would be really obvious if they were remodeling. Xanadu, what's up? The roach doesn't have wings. Doesn't work to hell. So with the dubias, only the males have wings, and even then they don't. Like they're just for display. They don't fly.
Yeah. The only cockroach that actually flies is the Japanese giant cockroach. The Japanese has like everything on crack.
Right. Richard, what's up?
You think our hornets are bad? Well, the Japanese have their giant murder hornets.
Oh my God. I know. Whenever they were talking during COVID about them coming to the U.S., I was like, that's what I was scared of. I was like, not the giant murder hornets. Oh my God. I barely tolerate wasps as it is.
There's American honeysuckle, but the honeysuckle that goes crazy and takes over everything is the Japanese honeysuckle that was brought over. And it's just so invasive because it doesn't have any predators over here.
My dad let our loud German Shepherd out on the front porch to keep the Jehovah's Witnesses away. They would walk past our house. Yeah, there is one way to do it.
Xanadu da doo da day is in the house. How's it going? And Alishon is here.
Yeah. They always come whenever I'm busy. Like if I have somebody here and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. And then they just keep talking and I feel bad about it, but I just close the door. Like I hate doing that. I'm too nice of a person. But if I have somebody here and I tell you, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy, and you just keep with your spiel and not empathetic, I will just close the door. A lot of times Nathan has to answer the door if there's a salesman or anything like that because I'm too nice. Like I will actually sit there and listen and let you do your spiel, and he's like, not interested, closes the door, doesn't even give him a chance, but I'm too nice.
Oh man. And yes, Bunny Viper, opossums eat tons of roaches. They are great friends. They're actually, when you get to like look at them a little bit more, like they're actually kind of cute. Like
They're
at first
really
glance,
cute.
At first glance, they're kind of creepy, but when you kind of get to know what they're actually like they're actually pretty cute. And
have you seen them holding?
They eat all ticks and everything too. So they're actually seeing them in your yard is kind of a good thing because they're kind of protecting you from all the harmful things that could be in your yard. And then they have the lowest body temperature of any marsupial mammal, whatever creature out there. Like it's close to I think it's like low 90s, like 92 or 93 degrees, something like that. So they almost they have a really low chance of contracting rabies. So it's like a win-win with possums pretty much. It's like don't be out there going after the possums. They are not a nuisance by any means.
Yes.
We need more roaches.
More roaches. Zen, that's funny. She says, my papa used to answer the door and they'd ask if he knew the word of God. He'd look at him dead in the face and say, what do you mean? I am God. And they'd leave. Oh, that's great. Brennan, what's up? Are either of you going to the Triple Crown? We're both going to the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
and I'm
we're
so
both going
excited.
to the Triple Crown. I have everything all set up for the Triple Crown. I almost forgot. That's what I was going to be talking about too. The dang Triple Crown. I'm so excited for the Triple Crown. Got everything hooked up.
I get paid that Friday, the day I'm leaving, so money's not going to be an issue.
Well, see, I'm taking paid vacation, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. But then I've been, like I said, I just made a whole bunch of money this week. So I'm working all this bank here right before I take vacation because it's just 2 weeks away. It's crazy. I mean, it's on the third week.
Yeah. So excited because this is a 3 paycheck month. So this next paycheck, my next paycheck Friday, will be my bill paycheck. And then that paycheck at Triple Crown is for the crown. I'm so excited.
Richard Reynolds, thanks for that question. Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics is here. Bates and Genetics is here. New Local Austin is here. We've had a great bunch of people just jump in recently. Yeah, 17 days away. I'm super excited. I get paid every week, luckily, so it doesn't really matter. So I get paid every time, and I've been trying to work this extra time to make sure I have plenty of cash saved up. I've already booked my hotel room now. I'm gonna be staying. I think it was the Red Roof Inn or whatever, just across the highway from it, maybe a mile away, 2 miles away, something like that. And the thing though is I did it through booking.com on the app, and it looks like they already took the charge out of my credit card, which is luckily I had the money in there. The thing though is I have free cancellation up to the night of, pretty much. Yeah. So I guess they would then refund the money, but it's weird. I have when I look at the booking.com thing or whatever, it's $351 or whatever for the 4 nights. But it took $309 out of my account. So it's just like, where's the other $33? Or I don't know, or $43.
I wonder if it's going to stay as a pending until you actually check in. Like, I wonder if it won't completely go through until you check in.
I don't know. It
looks
like it already went through on my credit card app. Like, it looks like it already went through, past pending. Either way,
okay.
I'm fine with that. Like, it's okay as long as, like, I mean, I'm going anyway, and I have a picture of it saved on my phone, though, like a screenshot, so that when I go down there, if all of a sudden they're like, okay, now we're gonna charge you or whatever, I'm like, oh no, you're not. You already charged me right here. Like, because yeah. BJ Palmer.
Yeah, I always take screenshots. Confirmation number. Yeah, I always take screenshots of all of that just in case. They're like, I don't see you in the system. I'm like, right here. Here's my confirmation number.
Liquid Zoo OnlyFins is home.
Matt, what's up? What's up? Oh my gosh. Oh, apparently BJ accidentally pocket modded somebody.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Who did she pocket mod?
I'm not sure. I'm not able to see on this. So many groceries have doubled or tripled in cost. Yeah, I know.
Alishon.
Aw. Just a timeout?
Then unhid him, so.
Oh, okay.
Nah, worse than a timeout. It was like hidden from this channel, basically, like. Blocked.
Aw. At least it was fixed. BJ, what's up? Oh, wait. I got it. Somebody is setting off fireworks. Still. Oh my god.
Yeah, I hate that. I don't mind the random like fire. Well, I don't mind the fireworks that are on like the 4th of July, maybe the day before or whatever, you know. But the really random fireworks on like all the nights around. Gosh, when I was in like Fergus, like Jennings area and stuff, there was fireworks all the way into like August and stuff like that. And it's like, I lived in a neighborhood that had signs posted everywhere that said loud music and fireworks prohibited. Yeah. And yet every single day it was out in the, that you could hear through the walls of the house. And like fireworks and all that other stuff. So we have some more people joining us. Window Liquor number 5. USL Services. Hey, I am sub number 250.
Nice.
Sub number 250 of who? I have more than 250.
Well, it's not me. I'm not over 200 yet. At least I don't think I am. It's kind of like they're cheap now. Yeah.
Window Liquor number 5. That's honestly one of my favorite channel names. And it's like, it's got this dog in the avatar that is just like, you just know that it's just like, can I lick the window? Can I?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just one firework. I don't know if they're gonna set more off or not. I'm at 156. Yeah, I didn't think I was over 200 yet.
Yeah, I really hate those singular random fireworks. Those are the worst.
Ian is here. Hello, Ian.
Ian Atkins. I'm at 450.
Oh, there's Logan. Okay. I was wondering, my husky doesn't like fireworks. So I was waiting. There he goes into his crate.
Oh, wow. I went up in subs. Last I looked, that was at like 4:30 something or whatever. I'm at 4:50.
Oh, he meant 450. Nice.
Nice. That means I'm just 50 away to 500.
I was gonna say, getting closer to 5.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Ian says he just woke up. Well, good morning.
Time to puff in honor of Ian and only Oscars. You know, that's a good idea there, Bunny Viper. Mississippi Hippie is at 9199. Well, we can fix that. Let's get her at least. Somebody else go subscribe to her to get her up to 200. And let's see how many. We got 27 people in here. I'm sure more than half of you are probably already subscribed, but I'm sure we can get 10, 15 people over there to go subscribe to Mississippi Hippie. If one of my mods can go ahead and share Mississippi Hippie's channel into chat, that'd be great.
Yeah, she asked me to come up on one of her aquarium therapy interviews, and I said, yeah, but she'll have to do it not at her normal time, because I think she does it at Thursday or on Fridays at 5, I think is when she goes, but I'm at work.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out a time.
What you guys could always do, actually, I mean, no, it's kind of lame to do it that way, is to like pre-record it or whatever and just like, but then it's like you don't actually get to like interact with chat or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, because I'm sure chat will have a lot of fun.
That's what really helps a live stream too, is getting to kind of look over a chat and see what they're talking about.
There we go. She's at 200 now, but that doesn't mean stop, because YouTube always takes subs away. So if you're not subbed, go over to Mississippi Hippie and give her some extras, because YouTube will take some away.
Watch a short or two, or like a little quick video to make sure the sub actually counts.
Yes. Go interact with some of her videos.
Yeah, Mississippi Hippie is a great channel. Sherry's an awesome person. And yeah, she does a live stream that's called Aquariums is Therapy, where they just talk about how much aquariums have helped them with everything in life. And that's what's beautiful about, aquariums. They can really change your life. And they definitely changed mine.
Oh, yes.
Yep, don't forget to smash that like button. Let everybody know in the YouTubes that you enjoy what you're watching, and it'll send out a notification for people that aren't watching.
Yes. So right before the stream, I was watching the auction. I got my sand and my elephant stone rock for my 120. And I was literally just scrubbing the elephant stone with a toothbrush, and now my thumbs are like super sore. I scraped my thumb. It's actually drew blood, so now my thumbs are sore. And I'm not even halfway done, so I'm gonna be spending all night doing that.
Yeah, I still have the mark on me. Earlier today, at one of my stops, I pulled out one of the frozen drawers on my truck to get like some vegetables out and stuff like that, and I'm trying to like close the drawer, and the drawer won't close all the way to where I can't close the freezer door. So I'm like, dang it. That means like something fell behind.
Yeah.
That was preventing the drawer from getting out. And it's like, so I'm like struggling and all that, trying to like reach back there. I can't reach that far. So I can like going into the truck trying to find something that's like a pole or whatever to like help me reach back there and draw it closer. Couldn't find anything, so I had to like get one of the small little shelves, empty it out into the bigger shelf to like reach back there and like pull it up with the shelf. And then I had to like still like finagle my whole body into the truck, and I ended up just kind of Oh, can't rotate. You can kind of see the marks on my arm there, right here and right here. I touched like the frozen metal like shelving area in the truck and kind of got like an instant sort of like freezer burn.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Stuff is like super cold. I believe it's 8 degrees inside our trucks.
Yeah.
Xanadu. 8 degrees. I don't remember. I think it's minus 8 degrees actually.
Probably. Xanadu says, Gina, I always love to see you because I hear your birds. Makes me smile. You're actually hearing Danny's birds, not mine. Marco's being quiet. Yeah. Oh gosh. There we go. Yeah.
Thumbs bent backwards. That thumb bent super far backwards.
I can dislocate that joint too. I have loose joints.
And it pops.
Yeah. No, you're actually hearing Danny's birds. Marco is in the other room. She was screaming at me before we started streaming, but I went in there to try to get her, and then she like went to the back of her cage. So I'm like, all right, you can just be a indecisive biatch. It's fine.
But yep, you're hearing Lazuli up there whistling and stuff like that. And he was flying around earlier. He's up in his cage again, just kind of talking to himself and whistling. But it is a great benefit of having a bird to have somebody just whistling at you all the time.
Well, if they're listening, and then you got mine who just screams at you for attention. So
yeah.
Sometimes she'll get in a mood where she wants to talk and not just scream. I've been trying to encourage talking rather than screaming. So if she starts screaming because she wants attention, I use one of her trigger phrases, and I'm trying to like teach that if she starts talking instead of screaming, then I interact positive, like, oh, good bird, and I'll give her scritches. So I'm trying to use positive reinforcement to encourage her to talk and not scream.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily
because if you scream at a bird who's already screaming, if you scream at a bird who's already screaming, it just becomes a screaming contest. It does nothing. It makes it worse. Yeah,
definitely. I've seen so many videos of that, and it's actually really funny. Like, especially depending on who the person is. There's this one video of this lady that she's like yelling in Spanish. It's like really fast. It's like, I'm terrible at Spanish. I took like 2 years of it, and I can't remember anything on the spot. But if you start talking to me, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I remember that and that. But yeah. And she just cursing out this bird, and the macaw's just like cursing her back. Like, what are you gonna do? Yeah. What are you gonna
Yep. That's funny.
It's a losing
And then, of
battle.
course, talking to
It's like the same thing as like yelling at a dog that's barking at you. Then it's like, oh, so now we're both barking.
Yeah. Yep. I love the videos with the cockatoos because they're just nut jobs. They scream to scream because they want to scream. You can't. It's so hard to train them because they just do what they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people and then they, like it's a game. It's a back and forth game. It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely positive reinforcement is the way to go with birds for sure, especially. They're just super duper smart.
Yeah. Yeah, beat up that soft parenting.
Yep.
Or gentle parenting, whatever they call it these days.
Yep.
But yeah.
Oh man.
And then the next step would be to get her to stop randomly pinching. Sometimes she'll just like if I accidentally shift even slightly, she gets mad and she'll pinch, and I'm like, God, stop it.
Yeah, I've been trying to teach Lazuli to get onto my shoulder more, and he'll be chilling on my shoulder sometimes, and then he'll just like start biting at my gauge and stuff. Most of the time, he's actually like on the cage itself, so it doesn't like hurt. It's just like I just gotta pull it away from him. But
yeah,
there was one time that he actually like held onto it, and I like pulled him with it.
Anytime I do this, Marco, because same thing, she'll try to go after my earrings, and I pull away. Then she gets mad, and then she bites me, and I'm like, "Just stop! Both are bad."
He doesn't bite me, luckily, but we have this kind of game where like I'm not sure if like the parents like Marco and stuff if they do the same sort of thing, but with the parakeet we'll kind of like he'll like bump beaks with me, like we'll like sit there and like I'll just like go back and forth, and he'll just like hit his beak on my nose, and then we'll just like start making a bunch of noises and stuff, because that's kind of what parakeets do. Is like they tap beaks and stuff. So does Marco like conures? Yeah, they don't do that sort of thing.
Huh. I know what you're talking about because I've seen them do it. Yeah, they'll like clack beaks back and forth. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, conures I don't think do that.
Huh. I know they all kind of communicate a little differently.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a video of two conures doing that. So yeah, I think that's like just a parakeet thing.
Huh. If I could get him to fly over here, he might do it on camera.
You texted me. On my way home, I'll need you to unlock the door when I get home. All right, no problem, Nathan.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Sorry. Apparently, the neighbor's dog is out. Riley, that's enough.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Let's do that sort of thing. He gets a little camera shy, but
yeah. Sorry, my dog is loud.
Yeah, it's all right. Dogs bark sometimes.
Cockatiels are the best. Yeah. Cockatiels are the best little bird. Cockatiels are really, really good birds for pets.
Yeah, they're great little dancers, and they're great at whistling and stuff like that too.
Yep. You could teach them like short phrases or maybe singular words, but yeah, they're whistling. They really shine at whistling. Cute.
I've only kept and bred parakeets. Like I said, the female got really aggressive and it didn't end well. Yeah, I don't plan on breeding them. I might put them in the same cage eventually, but as of right now, they're still in separate cages, the male and the female. And honestly, he doesn't really seem interested in getting into her cage, though he does like kind of hanging out on her cage and kind of talking to her through it.
Yeah. I've only ever had to deal with parakeet aggression once, and that was within the last couple of years. It was at my last store, so within the last like 2 years. One spring, a female actually laid an egg in the floor, the cage on the floor, and another younger parakeet decided it wanted to sit on the egg, even though it didn't lay it. And next thing I know, I'm walking by and I see the mom parakeet having the younger parakeet by the nape of the neck, just like shaking it. And I'm like, oh God. So I just like quickly pull out my keys and I grabbed up the mom parakeet and I'm like, okay, we're going back. And she's biting me the whole time. I'm like, okay, you're going in the back sick room in your own cage. Because, hey, sorry. Because parakeets, they don't lay all their eggs. Parrots don't lay their eggs all at once. They lay one egg a day, and then they just continue with one egg a day until they're done with their net. What's it called? Clutch. Until they're done with their clutch. So that's why when you see baby birds in a nest, one is always a little bit bigger and it seems like a little bit older. It's because, yeah, they're usually each 1 day apart. So it's crazy what 1 day difference.
Oh, and totally right, Zen. Yeah, if they like each other, they're gonna breed if you give them the right like sort of nesting box or whatever. And so yeah, I'm gonna be sure not to do that. But I am also kind of worried about her potentially eventually becoming like egg bound or something like that. If she does get, like super interested in him. Sage P. Lindsay. Ah, birdfish. Yes.
Birdfish. Yeah, that's really why we wanted to get Marco DNA tested when we first got her, is to know if she's a female, because parrots, like chickens, will still lay unfertile eggs. And that's one thing you got to look out for with female parrots, is looking out for them being egg bound.
I'm kind of excited to get little parakeet eggs. Make little miniature omelets.
They're so tiny. They're like this big. They're so tiny.
Yeah.
They're so cute. I remember walking around with the egg. I'm like, look at the tiny egg. Look at it. So yeah. She ended up, that parakeet that I had to separate, she ended up laying 4 eggs. And then we kept her in the back room for like 2 or 3 weeks just to make sure her breeding hormones settled down before we put her back in the main cage. Are the eggs any good?
Have an issue with any parakeets getting out at Petco?
Yes.
Or like trying to catch them and stuff?
So yes, and luckily we've caught them every time. So usually when that happens, it's because somebody relinquished a parakeet and it had full flight feathers, and somebody put it in the main cage without telling me. And I don't catch it in time, and then they go to catch another bird and it flies over their shoulder and flies up into the rafters. But I was usually pretty good about keeping all their wings clipped. But no, we've had it, and I always name that bird Jerry. I'm like, damn it, Jerry. I don't know why, but that's just always what I'm. Damn it, Jerry. But yeah, we'd catch them within like 4 to 5 days. Every night on top of the parakeet cage, we would leave food and water so that it would have access to food and water during the nighttime. So it would never come down during the day. They never come down during the day. And then usually after about 3 to 4 days, they get tired, and we'll usually find them like on a shelf or just walking on the floor. And then you just walk up and you just pick it up and put it back in the cage, or clip the wings and then put it back in the cage.
Wow.
But yeah.
See, we never clipped any of the wings at our store. If they came in wings clipped, and sometimes they'd stay in the store long enough to where they get their flight feathers back. But luckily, none of the parakeets, at least that I know of when I was there, got out, actually had flight feathers and were able to fly. But they could still, hover pretty good, and, we'd be kind of chasing them up and down the aisles. And it's like, you're not supposed to chase birds because it's like terrible for them, but it's just like, we got to catch this thing. Like, we're a pretty small store. We got giant windows at the front, and there's like an automatic door. Yeah. So there was one time, a parakeet actually flew up to the front, almost made it to the door, but the door got like closed, luckily. It ended up kind of smacking into the glass. Not hard enough to like hurt it or anything, luckily, but enough to just kind of startle it to where it was just kind of sitting there, like breathing hard, like what just happened. And I just grabbed it. Yeah.
I've had that happen before too. Yeah, one flew out, and then same thing. I thought it was going to go straight out the doors, but it actually hit the window above the doors, and then same thing, went down, and I ran over and I picked him up. I was like, oh my god, that was close. I think it was winter time too, so that would have been like that. If that bird made it outside, it would not have survived.
it's the point of the night where Lazuli wants to play with Tundra, and it's just like, listen, you gotta stop trying to play with the cat. Stop trying to play with the cat. She doesn't want to play with you. She wants to eat you.
Right. Oh my god.
That's the biggest problem. It's not like Tundra's well behaved. Like, she knows she's not supposed to. I can see that she's trying everything she can to not go after him. And she'll even kind of like, no, I can't go after it. And it's just like, but he's being really gutsy, and he's just like, I'm just gonna go right up to you, and like, what do you like? Start pecking on her face and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see the internal conflict of your cat.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's already almost 10. Time flies.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't start until 9, but
yeah, that's true.
At an hour. Talking so much, I'm getting all dry.
You got plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Yep. Sunday fun day.
Is it supposed to rain again tomorrow?
I don't know. I was joking with my coworkers about putting all that elephant rock in my driveway if it was raining and just let the rain wash it. But I didn't actually check the weather to see if it was supposed to rain again. I was so mad when I was raining so hard. I'm like,
I haven't had to water my garden or anything the last couple days, but it's just like, I need to mow my lawn. And if it's also not too hot, I'd like to, potentially get some work done on the pond too.
It cooled off a lot today after it's finally stopped raining and the sun came out. My one coworker is taking trash out. He goes, "It feels great outside." I'm like, "You're lying. It rained this morning and now the sun's out. It's probably muggy as hell. You're lying." And he goes, "No, go outside." And I did. And I'm like, "Oh my God, it did cool off."
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there doing my last few stops.
I'll be right back.
At work.
I'll be right back.
Yep, you're good. Huh. Nice. Parrotfish. This is Fish and Friends. We talk about more than just fish here. We talk about all different animals and everything. True facts about the jellyfish. Putting birds in a glass box would be sort of evil. I mean, not really. A lot of people actually put birds in gigantic glass boxes. I mean, they're mostly wood, but they have like a glass front panel and stuff like that. The nursing homes and stuff around where I've seen, like, they had a massive glass enclosure for canaries and things like that. So, I mean, if you're talking about a small glass box, yeah, that's pretty evil. But a giant one that has still plenty of ventilation and all that stuff. I mean, think about it. Like, if you could make a gigantic vivarium, like, that's what a parrot would actually really love. Like an artificial sun, a bunch of like trees and plants and stuff to hang out on and all that. Like actual like branches and things like that. Room to fly around, water available that's like running to go down and get a drink. Like, I mean, we're talking like a house-sized vivarium would be perfect for birds.
Yeah. In a hospital setting, whenever if a bird is sick enough and has to be hospitalized, they put them in fish tanks because usually if they're sick, they have low energy and they don't want to risk them like falling off a perch, so they put them just in a fish tank with paper towels on the bottom. Or any special needs birds, like sometimes birds when they're young they develop like their feet don't develop properly, and they're usually kept in like a fish tank and stuff because they can't grip a perch. So it's totally possible.
I think that's what happened with Lapis. Like he couldn't really like now he can she I when I first got them I thought the genders were the other way, and they grew up and matured and they flipped on me. But she like had trouble like with like the smaller railings and stuff like that, like the graded bottom, she'd like hobble around on, whereas like now she's fine. Right. So there was some sort of weird like genetic thing or whatever that she's like figured out now or whatever, because it was really messing with her, and that's why I ended up taking her home to begin with.
Hey, she was all things. I'm not saying the party can start now, but Jeff is in the house. Nice.
Big Mike is in the house. I was wondering when you were going to show up, bro.
Oh, man. And Lunatic is over here bringing up salt water like it's my weakness or something. Real parrots are my favorite when it comes to marine fish. They are interesting looking and made to destroy hard coral and rocks. Parrotfish will chew on rocks too.
Dude, that's awesome, Kenny.
That's really cool. And Moorish idols are rough on sponges and corals. Yes, they are.
Oh no. His beautiful 125.
Oh no. A little bit of an unplanned rescape, right?
Oh well, at least you got that aqua soil versus a dirted scape, right? So it's easy rescape, like you said. I give him a hard time because we kind of had a little bit of a back and forth on dirted tanks.
Aw. That sucks.
Hey.
Imagine if Pixar did a Gill program that would do that to the marine hobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually don't have Moorish idols too often because they're very finicky, very touchy. A lot of times we get them and they just never eat. Like the shipping stresses them out too much, and they never eat, and then they end up passing within a week. We order hennies instead, henniocus or henniocus. They call them the poor man's Moorish idol, kind of like shabunking goldfish with koi. Yeah. They don't get quite as big, but they do still have like the streamer on top and the black and white stripes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Mike. I like aqua soil too. I've recently started using it, and it's definitely worth the money. Now, I mean, I haven't put it into any sort of like gigantic tank yet, so it's not like I've dropped hundreds of dollars on aqua soil. But yeah.
Yes, Lunatic. They're also called bannerfish. I discovered that today. I was looking them up on Live Aquaria because my coworker and I were talking. She's like, "Aren't they part of the butterfly family?" I was like, "I don't know. Let's go look it up." And yeah, they're part of the butterfly family. And on Live Aquaria, they have other henniocus listed, but they call those guys bannerfish. But for some reason, the black and white, they call it a black and white henny. I'm like, why wouldn't they? Yeah. Not a lot of names are consistent in the saltwater hobby, and I don't know why.
Well, names aren't consistent anywhere in the hobby.
Right. Well, like the scooter blennies versus mandarin gobies. They're both dragonettes. Why is one called a blenny and one called a goby? Like, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing of like when you look at the behavior of a Missouri darter, it's very much like a goby, but why is this one a darter and not a goby? Like, I think it had to do with like darters are North American and gobies are like Asian or something like that. But it's like they're still just basically the same exact type of fish.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of ignorant on some things. Like, I know now that a cichlid, to get the classification of cichlid, it has to do with a certain thing in their jaw making like a triangle shape. But like
Gotcha.
when you just look at a fish visually, like a sunfish looks just like a cichlid, you know? Any
Vibes is
sort of
here.
like
Fish
any
tank.
sort of bass looks like a cichlid.
Yeah.
Vibes Aquatics, the greatest
And
new
fish
mod
tank.
in the house.
Oh, are
Fish
you going
Tank
to
Dad
the?
is here.
Are you going to the? I say fish tank. Dad being here reminded me because he mentioned it in one of my last streams. Are you going to the swap tomorrow? The Maasai swap?
Oh, is that why you were asking me what my plans were for tomorrow earlier?
No, 'cause I can't go. I have too many plans going on.
Oh,
I'm not going, but it just fish tank dad appearing reminded me of it.
no, I totally forgot about that. I will probably go to that then. Fish Tank Dad, what time does the swap start tomorrow? I gotta look at my darter email thing or whatever to see what time it starts.
It's
Probably
in
starts at
Bill.
like, it's probably in that same building that that the swap was at last time.
11 to 3.
11 to 3, right on. I'll probably go to that then. Find some cool stuff. There's some really awesome fish keepers here in St. Louis and Maasai. Like, I mean, I might see Gary Lang tomorrow. So,
right. Or Lady Diane.
or Lady Diane, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both up there. Like, they're both
Yeah.
great fish keepers. Honestly, even though Gary Lang's been around a whole lot more and has spent a lot of money and traveled the world or whatever, like I put my money on Lady Diane on taking care of fish too. So
Yeah.
she went from like 0 to 100 real quick, and she has some amazingly beautiful tanks and just has, you know, the time to just put all into those tanks and just water change and do a little maintenance here and there and just make them look so beautiful all the time.
Yeah.
He's
And she's a nice lady. And she's a nice
honestly,
lady.
like I've had some conversations with Gary Lang. He's pretty funny. He's got kind of a dry sense of humor, as do I. But he's really not that social. So that's just kind of what it's about. He just would rather not talk and just kind of be there. Yeah, hell
It's at it's at Southwestern Illinois College in Belleville, Illinois. Okay, so you have to cross the river.
Well, then, yeah, I ain't going. I'm not driving that far. I don't feel like it.
Oh, Mrs. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Misfit's going to do a pop-up tonight. I just got the 30-minute notification.
Oh. Okay.
It's very nice.
Big Tank Hank is in the house.
Big Tank Hank, what's up? What's up? What's up?
See, Big Tank Hank had a great stream last night with Jason from
Yeah,
Depths Unknown on
I
there
caught
talking to him about stuff.
half an hour of it. I caught the last half an hour ish. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I
I
got
started
distracted.
watching it, and next thing I knew, I woke up on the couch and my phone was turned off, and I turned it back on, and like the stream was over, and it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against like Hank or Jason. Like, you guys, are not boring by any means. I was just, using that stream to wind down from a busy day and get ready to go to sleep for, work this morning. So
Yeah. All Things Fish says your Patreon link in your description is broken.
Oh,
Is it the old one?
I forgot to change my auto upload stuff or whatever to the new it's not slash Danny Weshy anymore. Now it's /Glassbox Hero. So just go to patreon.com/Glassbox Hero, or here you can kind of see it scrolling through on the bottom there now if you want to. And if only Oscars is in here still, she can, share the link. She is a Patreon of mine already. Me and a friend decided.
Melanie. Yeah, Melanie's doing an aquascaping class. Nice.
Oh, nice.
She's a nice lady too. Melanie's so nice.
I've listened to a lot of like virtual like classes and stuff. Like, I got really into the Green Aqua channel for a while and watched all of their like aquascaping masterclass videos. And oh, Chewy, I already know Mike. Mike's a good dude. Mike is a really awesome dude. And the Zen Ginger. Yeah, you can share my Patreon link too. Thank you. $90 and you get to keep a 4-gallon cube in a light, plus you get $50 store credit for hardscape. 4-gallon cube, huh? Nice.
And 30% off that night for plants. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited to set up this 120. I just need to finish scrubbing this rock. It's gonna be so much.
Did not seem impressed. No rainbows. Yeah, that's just kind of how Gary Lang is. He just really likes to talk about his rainbow fish, and that's about it. I did ask him like the question about like, what type of rainbows that are they selling as in like Petco's and stuff that are labeled as the Australian rainbows that are like yellow color. And he was saying that they're probably a hybrid of a couple different too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like all types of fish.
Yeah.
I think I really like gobies and stuff though. Like, they're really interesting the way that they kind of stick on stuff and like scoot around and.
Yep. Freshwater and saltwater. We just got a bunch of twin spot signal gobies at work. Oh, they're my favorite. They're probably my favorite saltwater goby, or one of my favorite saltwater gobies, because they're a sand sifter, but they only get like 2 to 3 inches. Oh, they're so cute though. They have a really pretty top sail fin.
Yeah.
So cute.
Mandarin gobies.
Not the most colorful, but they're just really fun to watch.
I have bumblebee gobies, brackish bumblebee gobies.
Those are cute too.
Really cool. They got a fun little face, like it's got kind of a almost like a humanoid shape to it.
Yeah. Gina, do y'all ever get seahorses? We just got 4 more seahorses in yesterday, and I learned. I think somebody was at. I don't remember if it was Zen or somebody was asking me in one of my last streams how to tell male from female, and I actually looked it up. So if you look at their belly, if their belly rounds out, looks like a pregnant belly, and really comes to a sharp angle right at their anal vent, then it's female. But if it's more tapered, then it's male because that's the breeding pouch that kind of smooths it out. So that's how you tell male from female seahorses. Brennan had a comment. Those are so pretty. I love their dorsal. Their dorsal fins are so pretty on the tail spot signal gobies.
Yeah. Tail spot signal gobies, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're not the most colorful, and I'm finding that I'm actually starting to like the more dull fish because their personalities really shine. Like you look up fish online and you're like, oh, that's a boring fish, but then you see it in a tank and it catches your attention because of like how they move or how they act with the other fish. Like, yeah.
Whoa, that's a cool looking fish.
They're really cute. And you can have more than one. You can have pairs of them. We try to keep pairs. Yeah, we try to keep pairs of them in the tank so that if somebody wants a pair, they can get them.
I thought you said, I heard you wrong and I typed in tail spot, but luckily Google knew you meant twin spot.
Oh, I might have said tail spot, which is, different. That's a different goby. It's a larger goby, but yeah, twin spot.
Yeah, I like these little guys.
Yeah, those are the firefish gobies, and they come in different colors. There's those are the fire. Those are the red fire.
Fin.
Yeah.
They flick their little dorsal fin around.
It's for communication. So those are the red fires. There's also purples. There's exquisites, and there's Helfrichis.
Wow.
What is that? A pink bar goby? And that's a prawn goby, so that's a shrimp goby. So those are the ones that'll pair up with a pistol shrimp. Oh my god, that's a derpy looking fish. No thought goes in that brain whatsoever. No thoughts. That's also why I love gobies. Is that they're smart fish. Like they have really good personalities, but when they just sit there and rest, they just look like the dumbest fish ever. Like just no thoughts are going through their brain. Just all air, all water going through through that brain.
Yeah. Yeah, gobies are funny. But then like goldfish are like that too. Like they're just constantly going around where like the same way the food just goes in their mouth and out their butt, like everything else is just going like straight through their brain. It's like it doesn't stay in there, it just goes right through. Yeah. But actually that's not true at all though. Like goldfish are actually pretty darn smart when it comes to fish.
The purples and the hills are my favorite
stuff.
Fangtooth gobies are also impressive. They're on my list. Yep. Yeah, we just got a bunch of Helfrichis because our distributor had them on sale. They had them marked down really, really good. So yeah, we have a bunch of Helfrichis, and I think we have like 8 of them.
Nice.
It's so cool to see them all together in a nice school. It's an expensive school. They go for like $100 each.
So, when you get down to the Triple Crown, like,
yes,
what are you hoping to come away with?
Wood,
like, not like, yeah,
like driftwood, people.
Yeah,
driftwood. Yeah, I'm not planning on getting fish. I might come back with shrimp because that's about the only other thing I can get. I'm not expecting, there probably won't be saltwater. I'm expecting there to not be saltwater. But yeah, definitely I'm looking for a nice piece of driftwood for the 120. Maybe some shrimp. But, and then the black belt cichlid that I'm getting from Brennan.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I'm also hoping that I am coming home with is the black belt.
Are you You gonna listen to any of the different talks and stuff like that? And
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's getting a big old black belt at the Crown, not the Clash. Yeah, I'm actually about to go to the hardware store tomorrow. I'm gonna go to Handyman and get a LED top light because the tank came with this big fluorescent light. For now, I'm just gonna get a new LED bulb for it until I can afford a different light for it.
Yeah,
so this will work for now. I still cycling the tank. It'll work for now. Plus, when I'm done with that, Nathan can take it into the garage, and he can use it in the garage for his wood turning and all that.
Yeah. And
Use a shop light for his shop.
You got the tank there with you, right?
Yeah. So here, I can turn my camera around. I cleaned it last night. I'm working on scrubbing the rocks. Facing back. Turn my camera back on. Yep, it's right there. There's all the sand. And then that box to the left is the second box of rock that I haven't even gotten to soaking yet. Yep, that's the 120.
Oh, there we go.
Right in my front living room. Got 3 40-pound bags of sand. She likes to dig, apparently, so hopefully it'll be enough. If not, then I'll just order another bag or two if I need it from work. I might have to order more rock because there aren't as many big pieces in the boxes as I was hoping. And I want to really make sure to make her some nice caves.
Yeah. So that's a 5-foot tank, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 foot.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
This was where my 55 was, and now we're letting it settle in because it is actually on carpet. So yeah, they brought it in yesterday, and it just from the weight of the tank, it's been settling into the carpet. So, and then we'll get the level, make sure it's level before I fill it. Yeah, I'm excited.
No, you're right there, Mike. I had it turned off for like a little bit, and I just turned it back on. I've been messing around with it. Oh, thanks for coming over to cool my face, buddy. Yeah, he's got surprising amount of like air that he what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. I can't think of the scientific word for the pushing away of the air that I'm thinking of, but
lift.
Yeah, I guess that's probably it. Yeah, he creates a certain amount of lift that it's just like it's amazing, or thrust, like to where you can just like feel the wind, you know.
Yep. Zen said,
yeah, the air he displaces a lot of air. Joe knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
Dottie backs are gorgeous too, but I have no idea about their temperament. They are semi-aggressive. Dottie backs can be jerks.
Zen doesn't like my music.
Garcia's here.
Well, this song is called Bunny's Place, so.
For my bunny. Oh man. But yeah, I'm so excited for the crown. I like cold water marine species, but very expensive. Yeah, chillers are very expensive. We have a lot of people calling and asking about chillers, and it's mostly because they are getting axolotls. And I tell them like the smallest chiller we can order is like $600. But even that's like overkill for like a 20-gallon tank. It's meant for a saltwater tank with big halogen lights.
What you're better off doing, what my brother does, is he just has his axolotls in a separate room than all of his other stuff and fish and all that.
Yeah.
And he keeps like his like earthworm culture and stuff in there too, because they're fine at the cooler temperatures. But and it also makes them grow slower when they're at cooler temperatures as well. But
right.
He just has an air conditioner in that room that just cools the room down to like 65 degrees.
Like
So
a tower unit or a window unit?
The water is going to be closer to like 63, 64. So that's perfect for axolotl.
So like the opposite of what people do in their fish rooms, where people keep their fish rooms at like 80.
Instead of heating the room, he cools the room.
Right.
And it works great for him. He's got a 75 gallon that's divided in two. And
that's awesome.
I think, 4 axolotls. The one is by itself, and the other 3 are together.
Apparently, there was an axolotl on the auction earlier. I'll have to watch the playback on that.
Oh yeah, there was an awesome axolotl that was in the auction. It was incredible, and it sold for super cheap when it really comes to axolotls. I'm just not really that into them. I don't really care to put in all the work to care for them, but it was awesome. It was like a natural looking axolotl, like natural colors, but then it had pink gills, and it had luminescence. It had the luminescent gene. So when you put it in like black light or UV or whatever, it was like glowing. So
yeah, that's awesome. Lady Rorschach says, I'm in love with shark-nosed gobies. They are cute and colorful. Aw, yeah, shark noses are really cute. Yeah. They are really cute.
Those gobies. I want to see what those are. Oh yeah. No idea why they call those shark nose, but I can think of so many cooler names for these guys. But wow, look at them. That's a gorgeous color.
It's because their nose comes to a slight point, whereas most other gobies, it's more of like a rounded. So it's like a shark nose.
I wanted to do. I wanted to like zoom in.
Yeah, there's like gold shark nose gobies. There's blue ones. Yeah, they're really cute. And that stripe on them is like a kind of like a neon tetra. Like it shines.
Yeah. Bioluminescent.
Yeah. Yep. They're really cute.
I do not. I got the aquarium co-op fertilizer, and as soon as I started using it, I had a bunch of algae in my tank that I never had before. So I pretty much just kind of stopped using it. I did eventually use up all of the bottle that I bought, but when it really comes down to it, and Corey will even tell you, it's an all-in-one fertilizer that is set up to like certain levels, and if your water already has an excess amount of like a certain nutrient in there, it's just gonna like throw off your balance and stuff. So, that's something that like I'm really happy about, like Stephen P. Aquatics. Stephen P. 2003, he's been talking about, learning the biochemistry of your water and really understanding like what at each level of your water is. Because like here in St. Louis, I have a good amount of potassium and phosphates in our water. So the phosphates are great for algae, so that's why we tend to get like a lot of like blackbeard algae and stuff like that here in St. Louis. But then also like it's really good for like Java fern, so that's why I get just this explosion of Java fern in all my different tanks, because it's just feeding off the natural phosphate that's in my water. I don't even have to add any fertilizers to get Java fern to grow.
Yep. Who is it? Zen says, all the fish I love are always tiny little hate machines. Autos and betas or damsels and dotty backs, freshwater or saltwater. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. Anytime I start a tank and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a nice community tank, I always end up adding something that turns it into a semi-aggressive tank. I don't know why.
So, All Things Fish uses Thrive, and the guy that he gets it from, they offer several different types of mixtures of fertilizers, and then I don't remember who it was that Jess Mains, Tails, Furs, and Fins had on the Aquatic Morning Show like 3 months ago. It was a saltwater guy, but he was talking about getting the proper salts for your saltwater tank. So,
yep,
basically mixing both, your standard, like whatever, sodium salt to get your desired salinity, but also putting the proper chemicals into your water as like a fertilizer as well for all your corals, and getting everything properly balanced that way.
Yep. Yeah, there's different salts. There's just your basic marine salt, which, yes, just essentially buffers your pH and gets the salinity where it needs to go. And then you have your reef salt that has the extra calcium, has the extra magnesium to help boost your alkalinity. So yeah, there's different types of marine salt.
Yep. But I've been using the this hydroponic fertilizer that's like super duper concentrated, and I've been starting to use that in my 40-gallon breeder, and I started using just 2 of them for a while, and then after doing a little bit more research into how much ammonia and stuff I'm actually putting into my tank using some of these other heavier fertilizers, I started using the other 2 bottles as well. But recently I've kind of discovered that I think I'm adding too many micros like in there, because I started having blackbeard algae and some other algae starting to come out in that tank. Even though I'm still getting some really good plant growth, there's an excess of some sort of nutrients. So I got to get the balance right in, each little bottle that I'm putting in there. And
right.
I also need to do like a hard reset and do a nice big water change on it here too. I need to do a nice big water change on like all my tanks before we go to this Triple Crown here. And I need to make sure that I set my brother all up and make sure he's all good to go with all my tanks. And really, I'm not too worried about my tanks. I think they'll be fine over the like 5-6 days that I'm going to be gone. But I'm like, Tundra needs to make sure that she like has food the whole time, and I'll need somebody coming over to the house to make sure that she's like not destroying everything too. And then just to make sure that I don't have to worry about that, like the big issue of her like knocking over the bird cages and all. My parakeets are going to go straight over to my sister's house. She's had parakeets before. Her and her 5 kids can take care of my parakeets for the time that I'm gone, and I won't have to worry about them at all. And I'm sure they'll have fun listening to all the different sounds that I've trained him to make.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much all set to go. I got all my animal babysitters set up, and I've got everything paid for and organized, and all my vacations set up, and now it's just the waiting. And next thing I know, it's just going to be right around the corner, and next thing I know, we're going to be there, and then it's going to be over.
And then I'm going to get depressed because I won't have anything to look forward to except for my sister's wedding, but meh. But
it's not nearly as cool as the Triple Crown.
I know. It's kind of like when you finish a good book or a good video game. It's like, well, now what? I'll get over it though. It'll just be for a little bit, and then I'll find something else to look forward to.
It is recommended to use root tabs with Easy Green. At least that's what Corey tells you to do. He'll constantly say root tabs, Easy Green. You need nutrients in the soil for the root feeders, and you need nutrients in the water column for blah blah blah. And it's true and it's not true. Really, when it comes down to it, I just focus on putting the nutrients into the substrate, not so much worrying about the nutrients in the water. I have no problem growing ferns and mosses and stuff like that. I feel like, and I got pothos that are growing out of the tanks and all that as well. So they're doing everything to soak up all the nutrients in the water column possible. I don't want to worry about like green water or anything like that. But I definitely I'll use root tabs, and whenever I'm adding the fertilizer into the water, it works its way into the soil. That's kind of what this stuff does. My soil is Eco-Complete, Seachem Red Fluorite, and it's got a sand cap and stuff on it as well. So those are two pretty absorbent types of substrates. So they absorb the nutrients. And so even though I'm adding the nutrients into the water column, it's still going into the substrate. But I have added several root tabs in there as well. I want to get some better root tabs. I've been just using the root tabs that I can find locally, which are just the Fluval ones. And I mean, they're okay, but they're not going to be nearly as good as some of the other stuff you can find. I should really just order myself some fatherfish dirt or whatever, and just some gel caps or something like that, and just make my own root tabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gel caps are not expensive at all, even though the super organic whatever pure gelatin ones are. Yeah, fatherfish dirt. Honestly, fatherfish has good dirt, man. He knows what he's doing as far as mixing that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dry salts, clay balls. There's lots of different stuff that you can do there.
Yep.
But I am super in love with these red root floaters. I got them on my little top of the bowl there.
Mm-hmm. My duckweed is starting to make some nice long roots. I got duckweed in my plants from EJ. And I'm not mad about it. It's my first time experiencing duckweed, so I'm excited for now. But yeah, they have some nice inch long roots. Pretty cool. I'll see the shrimps all in it, and I'm like, there's all my shrimpies.
The Joe Coffee uses undergravel filters. Nice.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 Mike. He's not an aquascaper. He's not trying to make a fancy-looking tank. He's just trying to make a natural aquarium or whatever, you know? And I'm all for the lazy fish keeping, because especially now, I just don't feel like I have enough time anymore. I used to have all this extra time to just put into my fish tanks. Everything else was closed down or whatever too. So it was go to work, get home from work, and just go straight into my fish tanks and filming and all that and making parody videos and all that. Now it's now with my new job, I'm working 60, 65 hours a week. So I just don't really have the time that I used to. And then it's I like to go out and do karaoke and stuff like that. And the couple Patreons that I got are really enjoying me posting my karaoke
Your black
videos.
belt will love to eat the duckweed. Yes. I have.
Yes. cichlids love to eat duckweed and all that.
Yep. And I also have moss. Yeah, I also have moss in the shrimp tank, and I plan on, whenever I have to pull some of that out, I plan on throwing that in the black belt tank also. Yep. My little garbage disposal.
Huh. Yeah.
She'll be my little garbage disposal.
Oh. I don't know if it's this light or what, but I'm getting hot.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot in there.
Yep. I even got the AC going. Jeez, Diane. You do enough water changes?
My cichlid tank is the duckweed trash can. There you go.
Oh, I had... Where did it go? There it is. I totally forgot to answer. I have 2 parakeets, fish dreams.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to forget to answer that question. But yes, I have 2 parakeets. Both rescues. I never ever thought... my exact quote is, I never ever thought I would bring home those 2 little birds that are like annoying, annoying little birds. I never thought I'd bring home one of those annoying little parakeet birds, because like every time I'd go to somebody's house when they'd have a bird, and they just seem to like start squawking at like the most random times or whatever. But it's like, now I absolutely love it. It's great just having them talk all the time. And like when my water heater got like kind of messed up and stuff, and my father and my grandfather came over, like my parakeets and stuff were making little noises and stuff, and even my dad was kind of like, "Oh, your parakeets seem really happy," and it's like, "Oh yeah, they are. I play little sounds for them and stuff all the time." And go smash that like button,
There you go.
But yes, I like floating plants. They have so much benefit. But I've had a love-hate relationship with a lot of different sorts of floating plants. Duckweed, it seems like in one tank, it'll just go absolutely insane, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to grow crazy. And then I'll try and I'll put it into another tank intentionally, and it just will fail in that tank and it won't grow. And then, I just don't really care for duckweed. I'll never get duckweed again intentionally. But I've tried frogbit. I think frogbit is a great floating plant, but it should be in bigger tanks for sure, like a 55 or bigger even, because it does get some really, really long roots, especially if you have slower moving water and stuff like that. I tried to put it in some of my smaller tanks, and it just grew so big and huge to where, the roots went all the way down into the substrate and just like completely took over the tank and kind of destroyed my little aquascape that I set up. And it's like, I could have probably pulled it out a lot faster than I did, but I wasn't expecting it to quite grow like that.
Right.
I have no experience with Salvinia or Salvinia minima, or it's something like Azazola or something around those lines that kind of grows kind of like more like a thicker vegetation sort of thing on the top. It has a really interesting look. I haven't tried that one yet either, but I recently got the red root floaters from Fishy Biz Aquatics, and because he got some in a plant bag, and he's like, "You want a couple pieces?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I took a couple pieces, but I gave him the Java fern for all his students, And that's probably my favorite floater that I've had so far. Because I've already gotten it to flower. It flowered within like a few weeks of having it in the one tank that I put it in. And I was going to have that tank showing in the live stream, but with the auction going and stuff, I was using my phone. I didn't want to run back there and try and get it all set up right before the live stream started and all that. So I was just not going to worry about it. But one of the main reasons I love the red root floater so much is not just that it has bloomed and it gets these cute little white flowers. It's that the little lily pads or whatever, they don't get like super huge. They stay nice and small, like maybe dime size at the largest. And they get some really nice colors, whether it be a light green if you put it in more like a natural sort of low light, or if you put it under like a really bright highlight, you can get like some more of like a bronzing, almost like a reddish sort of maroon sort of color coming out on them. And then the roots only get like maybe an inch long. At least that's my experience so far, is that's the longest I've seen the roots get, is like an inch. So it's really good to, be able to see the roots of your floating plant, but not have it get excessively long and just turn your little aquascape into a root jungle, unless that's what you want. Like, it does look cool if that's what you want, like if you're not trying to make like a heavily planted aquascape underneath that frog bit, like put some frog bit into a small tank. I'm sure like a wild type betta would love that sort of thing, just swimming through all the different roots of it and all that. That'd be great. But if you're trying to, make more of like an aquascape and have floaters on top of it, I definitely suggest red root floaters for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's about all I have going on. I have to go to the hardware store. Oh, and then Nathan and I are going out for lunch for sushi tomorrow. And then, I'm going to be on Skipper's. I'm going to be on Skipper's live stream tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
At least I think so. I don't know.
Where are you going for sushi?
Probably Sushi AI. That's kind of our go-to.
Yeah. Every time I've gone, I've seen urchin on the menu, and they never have it available.
I was just talking about that because we got another black spine urchin, and I'm like, I always thought about raising one to get big enough and then take it to a nice restaurant and be like, can you cook them?
Yeah.
Make the dish, please. Here's your urchin. Make the dish, please. Yeah. Because I've never had it before, and I really want to. I want to know what it tastes like.
Yeah, me too. I've eaten a lot of weird things. I mean, probably my favorite type of sushi is actually the eel. I like eel. Yes.
The dragon rolls or the grilled eel. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Well, see, I don't care for rolls because I don't like seaweed. Anything that has any seaweed in it. Even if it's just a very, very thin piece of seaweed that has like the rice around it and all that, it's still just too much seaweed. It just funkifies the sushi for me. So you get the dish with the grilled eel on top of the rice, right? I get this. I think it's called sashimi, where it's just the bed of rice with the raw fish on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eel sauce is good. Yeah, the eel sauce is what makes those.
It's pretty much teriyaki sauce, but yeah, it's good. It's really good.
It's good. I'm excited, and I really like salmon sashimi. Also, I'm not a big fan of the tuna.
That's the only time I'll actually eat salmon is when it's in like the sashimi. The salmon and the tuna, I'll eat it like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of canned tuna. And then when you like try and cook a salmon for me, I've not had cooked salmon that I've enjoyed yet. I've had smoked salmon, grilled salmon, all the different types of salmon.
If you go to the Drunken Fish, they have a really good salmon dish. I know it's a sushi place, but they have is it grilled, Nathan? The salmon dish that we had at the Drunken Fish? I don't remember if it was smoked or grilled. But it was so good. You don't eat your fish here and talk like that? Yeah. I keep them in line. Let them know what might happen if they step out of line.
That reminds me too, like, it's not open anymore. COVID basically shut it down. They didn't have enough to keep it going afterwards. But there was a place in the outskirts of St. Louis County, actually in Illinois, Alton, Illinois. It was called the Finn Inn. It had like a little hotel, motel, or whatever, like above it and stuff. But down on the main floor was a restaurant, and it was a seafood restaurant, and it was just filled with fish tanks that had a whole bunch of like native fish in there. And we sat at this one table one time, and there was a massive alligator snapping turtle in the tank with some other fish and stuff in there too. And but yeah, so it's just always kind of interesting because it's like you're seeing all these bass and bluegill and different things like that in these tanks, and you're like eating fish, and you're like looking at this other fish, and you're like, I'm eating your cousin. And
oh, Nano, I think you're right. Yeah, the fish on top of the rice is nigiri. Sashimi is when it's just the raw fish with no rice. I think that's correct. That sounds correct.
Nigiri, yeah.
Yep. My bad.
Yeah, apparently sashimi is the only true like raw fish when it comes to like people talking about sushi. Most of the time they like lightly cook it and then refreeze it and other stuff like that. But yeah, that's sashimi is like true just like raw fish.
Yeah. I think Brennan just went live. So do you want to cut it at like 11?
Yeah. I think we'll give it just another like 10 minutes here. And
so we don't have to cut it off right now. Give it like another 10 minutes. Yeah, the eel is cooked. Anytime you have eel in sushi, the eel is cooked.
Yeah. Eel is so good though.
So yeah, Nino, but it's eel. Yeah, but it's so good. It's so tender. Oh, so good.
But see, like when it really comes down to it, like I don't care for most fish, like actually eating fish, but I like all the other sort of like weird varieties of seafood. So I love scallops and oysters and alligator and octopus and eel and squid and just whatever else. Like I like that sort of stuff. But you give me a thing of salmon and I'm just like, ew, it's like fishy fish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good if you don't know what it is. That's the case with a lot of foods.
Yeah.
Like it's a mindset almost. Like if you know what it is, then you just kind of get this preconceived notion that you're gonna hate it, and it affects how you experience it.
How nice of you to join us here near the end. What about frog leg? Frog leg is really good. I've had boiled frog leg. I've had fire roasted frog leg, and I've had fried frog leg. The boiled frog leg was my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about being a white person and liking boiled foods, but like, it was but yeah, it was good. And but the way that I would describe frog is like amphibian is truly like what you think it would taste like. It's like if you took a chicken and taught it how to swim.
Yeah. It's like a slightly rubbery kind of chicken. Like, it's not super rubbery, not like lobster or like overcooked shrimp rubbery. But it does have like a little bit more of like a sponge, not spongy, but a little bit more of a give to it. But it does taste like chicken. What was the Asian place? I think was it Hokkaido that had frog legs as part of their buffet? There was a place around here that had frog legs as part of their buffet.
It was Hokkaido, yeah.
It was Hokkaido. I freaking loved Hokkaido. I was so sad when they closed.
I went to Hokkaido 3 times.
Yeah.
The first time I went, it was like perfect. It was during like a relatively busy time. All the food was like freshly made. The clam bake was like super hot and fresh and everything. It was just perfect. The second 2 times I went, which is why I never went again, it was just crap. We went during, I guess it was a little bit slower. The food was just old and not like hot or anything. Like, honestly, like starting to eat it, I just like started to feel sick. It's just like, this is just not right. But I finished at the dessert bar and I ended up being like, okay, I didn't get like sick or anything like that. But just, it wasn't like I wanted to just keep going back to the bar and getting more food. Because man, like, but when it's on point though, it's like clam bacon and a clam shell, and you just like just suck it all down. Oh, it's so good.
It was so good. What was I gonna say? Oh, I think Nano mentioned alligator nuggets. You had alligator nuggets when we went to Gulf Shores, and those were really good.
Yeah, when Gina and Fishy Biz and I went out to Marine Solutions, and I made the video about our trip to Marine Solutions, at the end of it, we went to Gulf Shores, and I bought a round of gator bites for the entire table because, one, it's one of my favorite things. I love gator bites, and then I don't think Gina or Drew had ever had them before, right? So
I had, I was saying that the Storming Crab, Nathan and I had just went to the Storming Crab and we got their gator nuggets, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if these are gonna be good too. And I tried yours, the ones that you got for the table, and they were so much better. They were so much better. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the Gulf Shores, man, those were like melt in your mouth gator nuggets.
They were so good. Not overcooked at all. Oh, they were so good. Lady Diane, we'll have to go up to Gulf Shores because my work actually maintains the tank there. So yeah, I can show off one of the tanks that my work maintains.
A gastrointestinal journey together.
I've never had escargot before, but I'm going to try it.
Escargot is one of those things that when I first heard about it and I was younger and stuff, like the whole idea of eating snails just completely grossed me out. Just thinking of a slimy thing or whatever. But now that I'm older and I have more of an understanding of what escargot like really is, like, yes, it's snails, but it's the whole idea of like you are what you eat. So escargot basically comes pre-seasoned. They feed the snails like thyme and rosemary and all these fancy herbs to make them taste a certain way, to where like it just like tofu, in like when you soak it in something or whatever, it just absorbs whatever flavor it's in. Like that's what snails do. Like you feed them whatever you want them to taste like, and then that's what the snail tastes like. So I've yet to try escargot, but when I find a place that actually has escargot available, if it's not like too incredibly expensive, I might give it a go. Like I'm not gonna buy a $50 plate of escargot just to try it. But if it's like $15 for like 10 pieces of snail or whatever, like I'll give it a go.
Escargot with butter, garlic, and blue cheese. Ooh.
Blue cheese is gross, but I'll do the butter garlic.
Right.
Blue cheese just tastes like feet.
I can tolerate blue cheese in very small quantities. So I could probably have like the tiniest bit of blue cheese on there and I'd be fine. But yeah, if I get it on a salad, I usually take the biggest chunks of blue cheese and like set them aside, and I leave the little scrappies on there, and I'm okay with it.
Man, I can't do like any blue cheese. As soon as that like it touches my tongue or whatever, it's just like instant gag reflex. I can't do it. And I was dating this girl in high school, and we're like, you know, hanging out, like watching Doctor Who, and she's like, I'm gonna go make like a brie or whatever. I'm like, a brie? Like I didn't even know what it was. And
right.
She ends up coming down with this brie that she like pulled out of the oven, and that was probably one of the most disgusting pieces of cheese I had ever tried.
That's funny.
I cannot
I don't know if I've ever had
stanky cheese like that.
Now I want cheese. Hold on a second.
Honestly, I really want a gator burger now.
Oh, that sounds good too.
I've had ostrich before. An ostrich burger is really good. I've had bison, and I've had caribou, and I've had deer, and I've had elk, and I've had kangaroo. And look at the sleepy man. What a sleepy man.
He got bored of waiting for me, so he laid down on the ground and just started cuddling with Riley, and now he's passed out.
Cuddled up right next to the substrate.
Yeah. He's gonna hate that I showed that, but it's okay.
Yep, we're cheesy. Yep, bison's really good. And honestly, I thought kangaroo was really good too. There's a place around it's right over across the river into St. Charles, and it's called the beef jerky outlet, and they have so many different types of jerky aside from just beef jerky, but they actually have like kangaroo steaks that you can get there.
Yes. We've been there a couple times, and it's great.
I love it. It's like I mean, I'm not sure how fancy everybody here is, but I've been on a couple like winery trips and stuff like that, gone to like wine tastings and things. It reminds me of going to a fancy winery and going for a wine tasting, but it's all beef jerky. Like there's just little things around where you can go and taste the different beef jerkies. You have your beef jerky guide to walk you through everything and just help you pick out the proper jerky for your liking. And everything is like in big barrels and everything too, to where it's like wine barrels. It's perfect. I love it.
And they have cheese. Yeah, they have some fancy cheeses too.
And they have fancy cheeses and other things and stuff like that. And the very first time I went there, I was wearing one of my Spider-Man hoodies, which you surprisingly can't see, hidden by all my other jackets that are up there. But I have a couple like full like costume style Spider-Man hoodies, and I wore that in there. And what do you know? The counter guy had a Deadpool one of the same thing. So my very first time into the store, the store owner was there and like took a picture of Spider-Man and Deadpool in the beef jerky outlet for their Facebook page. So if you look through the old like Facebook
Yep.
of beef jerky outlet, you'll find a
That's
picture
awesome.
in there with Deadpool.
That's cool.
Tight kangaroo and Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell.
Me too. I can always go for Taco Bell.
It's one of those guilty pleasure places. I like Taco Bell.
Oh, yes.
But all right, we're at the 2-hour mark. Let's head over to Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics, everybody. It's been fun. I really appreciate everybody for coming by and hanging out and chatting with Gina and I. And I hope to see you all next week as well on another episode of Fish and Friends. Gina, you got anything you want to say to the people before we leave?
No, I'm good. Just see you over at Misfits and check me out on Skipper's channel tomorrow.
All right. Well, everybody, smash that like on your way out. I'll see you over there at Brennan's, and I'll probably pass out while we're over there too. So, it's been fun. Everybody have a great night, and so long. Thanks for the fish.
Bye.